Hey man, what's good with y'all boys and girls? We back with another video. We back cooking up this NBA action today. And today we coming at y'all with this Chicago and Detroit game. Let's start breaking this down right away for y'all, like we always do here. So this is most likely that not gonna be the free play today that I give out every single day on this channel and on my Telegram below. So if you guys are not in that Telegram below, I recommend you join it. Premium will also be down below. Premium will be $10 a week. We cashed yesterday 3 plays out of the 5 in premium. We made some profit. We cashed the free play yesterday that I posted on this channel. The Hornets and the Nets under 214.5. We cashed that as well. We're 4-0 on the free plays. So if you guys are not in that, join the free Telegram below or the premium if you guys want my personal picks and all that good stuff. But let's get straight to it. Let's get straight to breaking this game down. Like we always do, let's first look at the injuries that we got here. Jaden Ivey has been out for a while now for the Pistons, so they really got no injuries right now. Alonzo Ball out, guy that's been out almost all year. Now this is a guy that's key for them for Chicago, a starter. He's probable today, so I believe he's gonna play. And why did this game stood out to me, and why is this one of the games I want to give out? Let's talk about this first. Both of these teams 6-4 to the over/under. Chicago actually dominates the Detroit, but as we see down here, they dominated Detroit when Detroit was bad. You know, Detroit was bad literally just last year, and the previous years they were terrible. And they made a quick turnaround. Now they have a lot of young guys, a lot of young guys that are hungry to play in the league. So that's what we're looking at now. Over the last 10 games, Detroit is 5-5, 5-5 against the spread. Chicago is 4-6, 4-6 against the spread. Last 2 games, they got blown out at home. Well, not at home. At Golden State. Golden State blew them out at home, but they lost in Minnesota by a large margin. Their last W was against Miami, which was a pretty high-scoring game. They're letting up a lot of points these last 1, 2, 3, 4 games. Yeah, they're letting up a lot of points. Detroit coming off 2 W's against Philly, blew Philly out, and good little win against Hornets. They did not cover the spread though in that game. And let's look at the overall game, how we always do. Who's leading and what points? As we see here, Detroit is 6th in points. Chicago is 10th. Chicago averaging 118.6, while Detroit is averaging 121.8. Field goal percentage. Who's leading in field goal percentage? The Chicago is 10th. Detroit is 13th, so Chicago leads them in field goal percentage. 3-point percentage, Chicago actually leads Detroit in 3-point percentage. They're 2nd in the league. Wow. They're 2nd in the league, and they have absolutely been losing. Yeah, they've been losing while being 2nd in 3-point percentage. That's interesting. That's something to take note of. Detroit, 23rd in the league in 3-point percentage. Free throw percentage. Detroit is 3rd, shooting the free throw pretty well. Chicago 12th, shooting the free throw pretty well as well. Offensively rebounding. Detroit 7th. Chicago 28th. Chicago not rebounding the ball pretty well. How about defensively rebounding? They're 12th, while Detroit is 16th. They're defensively rebounding a little better. Who's taking care of the ball more? Detroit 12th. Wow. Chicago, where the hell is Chicago at? 17th. 12th and 17th, so pretty take. Both teams shooting the. What we get from here is both teams are shooting the ball well. Detroit taking care of the ball a little better. Detroit getting second chance points off the rebounds, but Chicago is defensively rebounding a little better than Detroit, while Detroit is dominating offensive rebound for the most part. Free throw percentage, both teams shooting the free throw pretty well. 3-point percentage is where Chicago exceeds. Field goal percentage, they have a slight lead on them. And scoring the points, both teams for the most part. Where was Chicago? Both teams scoring points for the most part. Defensive ratings, let's see where both of these teams are at. Chicago 26th, while Detroit is 13th. So Chicago, a team I wouldn't bet on. Mainly the reason because they're already down here, which Another game I was looking at earlier was the Knicks. The reason I didn't take the Knicks is because they're down here in defensive rating. So now let's go over here. Last 5 games, like we always do. Let's refresh this. Last 5 games, let's see what these teams are allowing defensively. Chicago allowing a 47.5 field goal percentage, while Detroit allowing a 47.8, pretty similar. Detroit allowing a 41 3-point percentage. Wow, Chicago's only allowing 38, and as we know, this is where Chicago exceeds at 3-point, and Detroit's allowing a lot of 3-pointers. If you guys looking into player props, probably looking into Kobe White will be a good 3-point line to look at today. Let's see. Detroit allowing 25 free throw attempts per game. Bulls allowing 24. Okay, let's look at turnovers. How many turnovers? Bulls are only causing 11.6. I believe this is what Detroit exceeds. Yep. Detroit causing 17 turnovers while leading in offensive rebound is my key take. 14 offensive rebounds per game to Chicago's 7. Causing 17 turnovers while Chicago's only causing 11. That's big. That's huge. That's more possessions to score the ball. That's the name of the game. You get the more possessions to score the ball, the more chances you get to score, most likely you're going to win the game. Now, let's look at the points. Detroit scoring 121 points per game. Chicago scoring 118. Both teams are high-scoring teams right now. Detroit's allowing 116, while the Bulls are allowing 123. Now, you guys are wondering, okay, what's your pick then? So, I still don't have a clear mind on what I want to go with. I was leaning. Let's go to the FanDuel. Let's open up FanDuel real quick. Let's open up FanDuel because I was leading Detroit spread. I really love Detroit spread, but we can't forget that Chicago is shooting the ball pretty well. And maybe it's the line trappy, who knows. But another thing I was loving was the alternate points at 233.5 over. Both teams scoring the ball pretty well. Chicago, below average defense. Way below average defense. One of the worst in the league, actually, at that. Last 2 games, they have allowed 127 and 132. That's insane. It's an insane amount of points. While Detroit scored 125 against Philly and 112 against Charlotte. Chicago scored 111 in the loss, and Minnesota they scored 108. Now, look at this. Chicago last 4 games gone over. Detroit last game under. They went over here. They went under here. They went over. They went over. Now, it's a little trend if you notice. Under, over, under, over, under, over. They went under last game. Doesn't mean that's a clear point to them going over this game. But it's pretty precise when they put the line at 237 and the last 2 games were 219, 222. You know? They're going to play a defense that really doesn't play defense at all in Chicago. So, over is something I'm looking at. And spread is something I'm looking at. And this play will come down to how the line moves and what are the percents of people betting on this game. How you guys know one of our rules here is not to bet games that are lopsided action, meaning 90% of the world is betting on Detroit, so we're taking Detroit. No, we don't bet teams. I don't care how much we like them. We don't bet teams here that 90% of the world is betting on, because at the end of the day, 99% of the world loses money to Vegas. And we bet with Vegas. We bet games that make sense at the end of the day. And sometimes that means taking the game later on. Waiting a couple more hours to see how the line moves. Getting that advantage and getting the edge in certain spots. You know, because this line might drop to 235 later. Who knows? And we just bet it at 237 just because we want to bet it right now. No, we got to have patience when it comes to this. Sometimes I tell you guys, well, most of the time I've been telling you guys to play on the spot, and I tell you guys to play right here. Sometimes I'm going to have to be like, join the Telegram below, ticket is still gonna be posted later on. I'm gonna let you guys know when and what I'm betting. You know. So later on, that's most likely what I'm gonna do. Is tell you guys right now, it's probably gonna be either the over if I like it, or it could be Detroit spread. Right now, I'm liking the over, but the over did go down from 239, I believe it was, to 237, with some bets going onto the over, which is kind of trappy. So I want to see how this moves back up or moves back down, or how the spread moves a little bit. But yeah, but with that being said, man, that's about it for this video. But before I even let you guys go, let's talk about one of the premium picks that I love. Is this game I have a premium pick in. It's a beautiful game. It's a beautiful spot for a team that I love. And I was gonna put this one as a free play, but my premium deserves it. Those people deserve it in premium. So this is gonna be a premium play. Just a game that I love. Just a game that I wanted to talk about. Injuries right here. Just a game that I loved personally. And the New York game, we could talk about the New York game real quick. Like I said, I wouldn't bet New York in this spot just because of the defensive rating that New York had. But New York does lead in categories by 1. Indiana does play New York good in Indiana, though. New York hasn't beat Indiana in Indiana, you know, and you're getting them as dogs here, 2.5 dog. I would see how this line moves as well. This could probably be another premium pick I give out later. But yeah, man, with that being said, back to the free play. The free play will be posted later on in the Telegram. It will most likely be on this game. If not, anything could change. I was also looking at some college basketball games, so I recommend you guys at least join the free Telegram below. With the chance, you know, if you guys want to join premium, then that's right there for a couple plays that I have today that I love personally. But if you guys just want to join the free Telegram for this free play, the link will be down below. And man, with that being said, y'all, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we out, y'all.